First and foremost, all thanks and praises unto our power, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Wa Rakakwadash. Peace, blessings, much respect to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, on down to the rest of the elders who rule well within Israel. Salutations to the hopeful elect throughout the four corners of this whole entire earth, no matter where, whom they may be, or what they may look like, pushing out this purified truth. To the rest of the church who believe as well, you men who may not be teachers or prophets, you women, sons and daughters also. And the water to Yahweh Shai, because without him enduring and going to that cross for the nation of Israel and the nation of Israel alone, none of this would even be possible whatsoever. So I have Matthews 24 and 21 pulled up here, and it reads this: For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. So we are coming into some times like never before. Those times have already started amping up, but the intensity is going to keep on getting more rapid as time goes on. And as things intensify, as this society breaks down, as things get worse, and seeing that things are getting worse, if we have the eyes to see, we should not be in the spirit of fear. In fact, we should be in the spirit of looking forward to these days, because in order for us to receive our kingdom, these days must come to pass. For then shall be great tribulation. So great tribulation is coming to this world, a time like never before. And many great and evil things, many ruthless events have taken place on the earth's soil. But nothing will come close to what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is about to bring to the earth in our time, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. So when things intensify, when things get really bad, when the mark of the beast is set up as the new currency, things are going to move quick, because if not, everybody on earth would be chipped. Everybody on earth would die. Okay? And except those days, which are the days we are currently in, should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. So when these tribulations pick up, when things amp up, the days are going to be shortened even more. When all hell breaks loose, it's not going to be some long, drawn out 10-year process. It's going to be a very, very, very short time, but it's going to be a very dark time. Okay? But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So when it gets really intense, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to make a quick work from the time of that mark of the beast being made law to seeing the return of our Lord Yahweh Shai, right along with the missiles being sent off. It's all going to happen very, very quickly. Okay? Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 7. For we walk by faith, not by sight. So let's say a blackout just randomly happens. You know, it just goes black. Let's just say the economy collapses. Let's just say these things take place next week, next month, right? When it happens on the sudden, don't be in the spirit of losing faith. Don't be in the spirit of thinking, oh, what am I going to do? We have to have the mentality of knowing this whole time we haven't had no control of anything that's ever happened, nor are we going to have control on the things to come. All we can do is walk by faith, putting our trust in the Lord. Freaking out, losing your mind is not going to help anything. In fact, it makes things worse. For we walk by faith, not by sight. Just like some men, they feel like No black woman's going to be saved, because looking at things, seeing how a lot of these women are a bunch of whores and they ain't no good, men will just say, well, there must not be any good women or any decent women, because they're walking by sight, not by faith. We have to walk by faith, man. Just as there are a lot of women who are going to be saved, including the so-called black woman, regardless of if it looks like it or not. When things get evil to a point like never before, and it just seems like there's just no way out of it, well, you got to snap out of that mind and understand there is a way out of it. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is your way out of it. He's the one causing it, and he is the one to direct you. All right, let's go to Proverbs 3 and 5. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not on thine own understanding. Leaning on your own understanding is walking by sight and not by faith. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. So when it gets evil, when it gets dark on a level like never before, acknowledge Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to the full extent, and he'll be the one to direct your path to safety. Because when it happens, and you'll know when this day comes, when it happens, it will be suddenly. And all we will have to reflect on, all we will have to rely on is our faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? Period. And we can't be so caught up in the what ifs. You know, how bad is it going to be? Am I going to be able to handle it? You should look forward to it. You should look forward to how many great ways the Lord can deliver you out of such events. Okay? And it also tells us in the scriptures how the devil will cast some of us into prison. So if some of us have to be sitting in some FEMA camp, hey, don't have the spirit of just throwing in the towel. You know, don't have the spirit of fear. You got to have the spirit of walking by faith, not by sight. Okay? Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 32 and verse 7. Thou art my hiding place. Thou shalt preserve me from trouble. Thou shalt compass me about with songs of deliverance. I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way which thou shalt go. I will guide thee with mine eye. So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is our hiding place. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to guide us in which way we should go. So there's no need to fear. There's no need to worry when these things happen on the drop of a dime, when these things happen on a sudden. And when I say these things, the Bible calls it something known as Jacob's trouble. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So the time's coming is going to be a time of the Israelites being put through great trouble. Now that word trouble in Hebrews 68 and 69, the word is sarah. Straits, distress, trouble, vexer, rival wife. Okay, so the times to come is going to be a very, very distressful time, a very troublesome time, a very straight or difficult time. Okay, a time that's going to vex you. Okay, and it says rival wife. Imagine that, because a rival wife is nothing more than an adversary. So the times we're coming into are going to be very adversarial. Okay? Very trying, very afflicting, like no other time on earth. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So once that chip comes and them guillotines get to rolling out, and, you know, people are out here on the streets hiding out, getting gunned down, getting blown up, being kidnapped, being eaten through cannibalism, being snatched up by gargoyles or whatever the case may be. We have to know Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is guiding our steps. He is the one doing it. And if we've been pleasing him, why would he feed us to the wolves? That's why we do what we do now, so that we can have that confidence when these days come. Okay? When these days come, what you're doing right now, the work you're putting in right now, is going to be your confidence in the days to come. A lot of men don't want these days to come because they're not confident in their works. Let's close it with this in the Apocrypha. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 2 and verse 27. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, and it will come suddenly. It will come like no other time in history. Okay? Others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. So yeah, we might get laughed at and clowned, and people think we're cuckoo now, but the times to come, you're going to see a lot of people crying so much, they got snot running down their nose like water. Crying so much, they're what's that called? Wheezing, I think is the word. Okay. It's going to be a very, very, very dark and trying time for everyone who's on the earth. But the Lord is going to be there for his. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord. So the day of trouble is coming. But that's going to be a time where the Lord is going to show many great miracles and signs through us. If I say he permits it. All right. So in the days ahead, we know that it's going to be a trying time. We can't put a day on it, but it will happen suddenly. But when it happens, of course, you might get thrown off. You might get thrown off for a second. Our heart might drop for a moment. But we got to shake it off and get back in gear and know, hey, the Lord already said this would happen. The Lord is the one controlling it. The Lord is controlling our steps. We've done our part. We've done what we could do. Why be fearful? So Lord willing, this lesson, it was simple and edifying. And I'm going to give all thanks and praises unto our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wa Rakakwadash. Shalom.